Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't That's why I spend my life with you.
I don't even know how I can help her. You know, Maurice ain't that kind of attorney.
Hi, hotties, kettles, tea stars. You're here for hot tea. All commentary is alleged, and in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only.
I don't even know how I can help her. You know, Maurice ain't that kind of attorney.
So we're unpacking more of the Zen Garden and SCHOLT face-off in court that I am going over from Trending at Some Point's YouTube channel. Like I said, y'all go check out her channel. And if you haven't checked out my last video, go head over there and check it out because we're piggybacking off of that. Now, y'all really wouldn't believe what we're going to unpack in this video, but I literally find it to be comical. But Kimmy should have kept her mouth closed because I wonder if she can help SCHOLT and Marsau and Letitia. And I actually really want to know, what does this mean for Letitia, Miss I have my name on everything? And do you really have your name on everything? Regardless, to me, I don't know. Hold on. Somebody is going to have to pay. Y'all, let's get into this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the post notification bell so you are up to date each and every time that I upload. And also check out Trending at Some Point channel where she basically unpacked the whole court case, which is still going on. And she's also going to be coming out with a part 2, which I'm also going to be unpacking because y'all, it's juicy. So just to sum everything up, SCHOLT is suing Zen Garden. SCHOLT is suing Zen Garden and claiming to never have been paid. And Zen Garden is basically saying is due to the cost of overrun and incompletion of projects. Now, in my first video, we uncovered that SCHOLT was the reason for a road accident. The reason the road accident happened was because the structure of the pavement caused issues due to the lining in the road. And SCHOLT never came back out to fix that project. Actually, Zen Garden had to hire someone else to come out and fix that project. We're also learning that SCHOLT lawyer isn't as prepared as he may think he is, or maybe Marsau is getting his money's worth. So the last place we left off was about Papa Jack's basically having to help Zen Garden make payments through their credit card because SCHOLT basically stopped performing and Zen Garden had to start paying all of these people directly because they were coming up to him asking him about the payment. Zen Garden is basically stating everything that they hired Marsau to do, they basically had to do themselves. Marsau basically wants them to still pay him $250,000 for his contracting contract when Zen Garden did all the work. However, SCHOLT is claiming they believe Zen Garden interfered too much, which is the reason why they couldn't do their job. But I beg to differ. Y'all get in the comments and let me know what you think. Let's get back into the court case. So Zen Garden basically had to rent their equipment and buy gas from Papa Jack. So in case you were wondering from the last video, Papa Jack's is a gas station owned by a man named Charlie, who they are trying to figure out what connection Zen Garden has with this person because SCHOLT is for some reason upset that Zen Garden had to hire outside people to finish the job that they couldn't do. Premier Project, which is another company that we spoke about in my last video, is an engineering company involved in other things like construction project management. And Zen Garden paid Premier Projects $250,000 to $350,000. Mind you, Zen Garden is countersuing for $5 million. And so you guys are going to see what they're suing for and the people that they've had to pay outside of Marsau, while he's still begging for $250 for not doing anything and causing more chaos. Like I said, I'm summarizing the case. If you guys want the whole in-depth breakdown, head over to Trending at Some Point. So like I said in the last video, they were trying to figure out why were all of these people hired by Zen Garden. Now we're going to talk about Martin and Kobe. Martin and Kobe are on-site supervision that supply the right skills, and they were hired to basically fix all of the problems that SCHOLT started. So SCHOLT's lawyer wanted to know what was the difference in Martin and Kobe versus Premier Project. So Zen Garden side responded and says a project manager oversees the accounting part, generally like making payments, paying everyone, and overseeing the project manager and superintendent. So basically that's what Premier Project does. They oversee Martin and Kobe, while Martin and Kobe was handling all of the on-site activity, coordinating all the trades with the subcontractors to make sure all the projects move forward correctly. So the Zen Garden side basically said Premier Project was accidentally assigned to pay every contractor, every laborer, every trade directly, which was supposed to be SCHOLT's job as a general contractor. So the SCHOLT attorney, I guess, trying to catch him up in something. Mind you, I'm not actually saying the individual's name that is speaking. You guys just have to know that I'm just speaking about the Zen Garden side and the SCHOLT side, but these are people individually speaking. And I believe the man that is speaking name is Mr. Shah. That's the man speaking for Zen Garden. So the SCHOLT attorney asked him, what did you mean by accidentally? The Zen Garden side then says, since the contractor failed back in November and December, all the subcontractors were upset because there was no on-site management. So basically, that's somebody that's supposed to coordinate who's supposed to come first, who's supposed to come afterwards. So I don't know how building works, but basically somebody's supposed to come lay piping, and then they're supposed to hire somebody to come out and do the plumbing, and then somebody's supposed to come out and do the water. And basically what I gather from this, and this is an example, I'm not saying this is the way that it happened, but I gathered that basically water came out when there wasn't even anybody to come out and do the plumbing. Basically, everything was all out of order because there wasn't any on-site management. So because there was no order, people were also coming to him to take care of payments, in which they initiated an audit but didn't get success. So at the time, they didn't know if they were paying SCHOLT or paying the subcontractors or paying the trades, but they had to pay to make sure the project got completed on time. The attorney from SCHOLT then asked, did he negotiate directly with any of the subcontractors? The Zen side said they didn't have any direct contact with the subcontractors. Zen allowed people to bid on the project, and SCHOLT was rewarded out of the two other people that bidded on the project as well, based on his lowest responsible bid. Basically, the subcontractors told them that they could do the job based on what they were requesting. They also had people lined up that, I guess, in that bid that they said would help them complete the project as well. In other words, like references. So hold the references part in your mind because that's going to make sense later on. So Zen let the SCHOLT attorney know that they weren't able to negotiate on bids, but they met the subcontractors during the analysis process and when he did his visit. The attorney also asked him, prior to the construction project, did you meet all the subcontractors and employees from SCHOLT? He said he met a few, and the attorney asked if he negotiated price with them. Zen said not directly because they are contract bid with the general contractor, which is SCHOLT. So basically, it was SCHOLT's job to do all of that. So I gather from this, SCHOLT is supposed to have employees and people to do the job, and he's supposed to outsource what he can't do within a reasonable budget for this project. But SCHOLT just don't have anyone, period. He has nobody employed for him, and he's outsourcing everything. Also trying to cut costs, and we're going to get into that more. So this gets interesting. Please, y'all, pay attention. We're in for a nice tickle, okay? So SCHOLT's attorney asked who is Val. Mind you, if you guys want to have some more in-depth understanding on who these people are, head over to Trending at some point. So apparently SCHOLT had many superintendents replaced for about 9 months. Zen Garden side also said that they had a few people that they've called superintendents, but they were really just laborers. And in my opinion, because they weren't doing any coordination each time he was there from his observation, that is the reason why he had to step in. I'm going to venture off for a second because I want you guys to put this into perspective. This is somebody in the court case that is saying, who had firsthand experience, that they were just hiring people that were laborers that were saying that they were at these high-ranking places. Who do you think those people are? What's the man name that's working for them now? Or remember Tisha. Tisha is trying to say that she's inside of the company. I believe Tisha was also one of these people that the Zen Garden people had some type of, communications with, when he realized that she's not actually a part of this or know anything about it. She's just a worker, just like what's his name, Gino. Gino could just be a worker and really have no business being employed at the position that he's in. That's my theory. So I've been saying that they're liars. They don't have employees. They're making stuff up. They're doing this for a storyline. They're never really building anything. We don't see any of their projects. And here's somebody that's saying firsthand that they claim that they had people working in these positions, but they weren't actually qualified. So y'all peep this. This is some crazy, scary, wicked stuff. So in July, C, which is the vid, restrictions weren't as bad, and Zen's side traveled onto the site. He asked Marsau where was the superintendent that he mentioned in the bidding. Marsau responded and told him he didn't need it right now because Family was doing really well. Now, Family is a construction company that is one of the top contractors in the area. So the Zen Garden says basically that Marsau listed people to qualify him where he never used or associated them with the projects. So basically he used people's name to get him in the door. Do y'all remember when people were saying that he used Mel's name and that was kind of basically considered fraud? Do y'all remember when that was circling around? Again, here's another instance where I'm not sure if that is directly tied to this instance, but it'll make sense that a lot of people really hired him and wanted to work with him because of who his connections was and him seeing that he'll be able to produce the projects with these people. I'm pretty sure Zen Garden probably thought they would be working with Melody and Martell. What do y'all think? But get in the comments and let me know if you guys remember when SCHOLT was basically being accused of using Mel's name without her knowledge. This, I believe, is that, but that's just my opinion. But y'all, it gets so much worse. So the Zen Garden man said his first visit at the time, they were framing the clubhouse. Because remember, in the last video, I said he has 6 properties, 5 apartments, 1 clubhouse. So he visited them, and at the time, they were framing the clubhouse, which was the first building up. He said when he walked into the entrance, he noticed the height was 14 inches shorter than the design. So he had to ask Marsau to measure it out, and he then realized it was 14 inches shorter than the design, y'all. So he said in court, that's when he knew he didn't have the right person. At that point, the whole thing had to be taken down, which was 3,000 square feet. It was a 3,000 square foot building, y'all, which was one of the reasons for his cost overrun. That's what he said in court. He also said to Marsau's lawyer, or SCHOLT's lawyer, if there's no superintendent, then the issue is with SCHOLT because he was supposed to hire one. So SCHOLT's attorney, trying to catch him up in something, in my opinion, asked him, did he mean there was no superintendent there physically at the site? Zen then answered there was no superintendent on the site at the time, and I just think there was no superintendent at all. all. Zen said that the drawings were included in 2019 and approved to break dirt. SCHOLT's lawyer is basically trying to say that they allowed SCHOLT to break dirt before getting approval from the government or the city. Started asking him all kinds of questions to try to catch him up in a lie, but it actually got interesting and Marsau was exposed a bit more. Then Gardenside said they were told by SCHOLT, Marsau Scott, that Mike Scott, one of Marsau's uncles from Texas, is a project manager. The Zen Gardenside said in his 22 years, he has never seen a project manager remote on a construction project. He also kind of shaded them in court and said, this is not tech, it's a construction project. So SCHOLT told him SCHOLT told him basically that his uncle comes out there to check on the project once a month. But the man never believed him, but still gave him the benefit of the doubt because C was going on at the time. He then said he realized that Alabama was the least affected and all of the other projects were functioning normally, and they started to question them at some point. They wanted to talk to the project manager and asked Marsau, but never received his number and was always given an excuse or the runaround. Y'all, this is getting good and juicy. I don't want to make this video too long, so we're going to break it down some more in another video. Get in the comments and let me know what you guys think about this so far. Marsau them are the biggest scammers ever. It's the fact that he's now saying that his uncle is the superintendent of SCHOLT. Whatever happened to Letitia? Nowhere in this part did we hear anything about Letitia being any type of manager, having any type of ownership or anything like that. However, the man let it be known that there were multiple people that said they were the superintendent when really they were just workers. Now that, I believe, had everything to do with Letitia, Gino, and other people. But the fact that he's trying to bring in an uncle from Texas and say that he works remote, and that's just something that's so unheard of. We're talking about builders, people that have to be on the ground, be on the floor, measure things out, see how it looks, see how everything is coming. I just think this is absolutely absurd. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know what you think about all of this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the post notification bell so you are up to date each and every time that I upload.
Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't
It's not in
That's why I'm